A few years ago, my DIY IKEA hack entryway makeover went viral. Today, it needs a huge clean and organize, as you can see. So I thought I would share with you how it's held up over the last 3 years, give it a clean and organize, and answer some frequently asked questions. In case you're new here, this is what my entryway used to look like before. Our hall is a little bit narrow. I wanted a solution to store all the shoes. I found these IKEA stall units at my local IKEA, bought 2 of these units, assembled them, and then I attached them to the wall in the hallway with the studs. Then I sanded them, I primed them, and I painted them to make sure they matched all the trim in my home exactly. I painted the frame and I painted the drawer fronts. Then I created a board and batten feature wall using some trim and some paint. Then I finished off the whole look with a mirror and a runner. If you want the full tutorial for this hallway makeover, I will link it down in the description box below. So as you can see, it does get a beating, especially at this time of year in the spring when it is really muddy outside. We live on an acreage. Everybody has muddy shoes. We're kind of in that season between boots and shoes. So I thought it was a really good time to just really organize this and give it a nice cleaning. I love to have this dollar store bin on top of my shoe cabinets. It holds all our things that we use every day before we leave, like lip gloss, hand sanitizer, sunglasses, pens, and keys. I always recommend having some sort of drop zone for all of those essential items so that you don't forget them. I tend to lose my keys everywhere, but if I put them in this bin, I don't forget. As you can see, the top of the shoe cabinet has worn quite nicely. There's not too many scuffs or scratches, and it's still very easy to clean. I'm gonna give the mirror a nice clean now. I'm just using some Windex and just getting rid of all the smudges that my girls leave here when they're brushing their hair in the morning. Now I'm removing everything off of the top of the shoe cabinets, and I'm going to just give this a nice wipe. I am so happy with how the paint has held up on this unit. I know a lot of you asked that question. The trick to painting IKEA furniture is this. Make sure you give it a bit of a scuff sanding so that kind of roughens up the surface a little bit, and then use a really good bonding primer. I found my primer from Cloverdale. I will link it below, but I also recommend a few other bonding primers. I'll link those below as well. And as you can see, the paint job still looks great. I'm able to wipe it down really well. On top of the primer, I just used a plain latex paint. The one I used has a satin finish, so it's easy to wipe down. It's the same finish as our doors and trim in all the home. In the shoe cabinet, we store things like hats and mitts in the winter, and as you can see, the shoes and the accessories do leave some dust and dirt inside of the drawers. I also wanted to show you how I mounted this onto the studs. I have quite a few screws going into the studs from the cabinet to the wall, so everything is nice and secure. The stall shoe cabinets do come with legs, but I left them off for the floating look. Now I'm taking out all of the shoes in the whole cabinet. I know we have a ton of shoes, I know, but I do have 3 girls, 1 husband, and myself who I do have a bit of an addiction to shoes. Plus, we're kind of living in this weird middle of the season time where we have all of our shoes and winter boots out. People ask, and the answer is these drawers are really easy to clean. The inside is plastic, so I can just use my vacuum cleaner and vacuum up any dust and dirt, and then just use a damp cloth and some cleaner and wipe the drawers out. The only thing that I have a hard time cleaning is just this very bottom shelf on the shoe cabinets. It's a little hard to get at, so if I want to do a really good clean, I have to remove the entire drawer, which is possible, but today I just kind of wiped the inside of the shelf. It wasn't too bad. As far as wear and tear, you can see there's a little bit of a crack here where I put the 2 units together with some wood filler. Otherwise, the rest of the surface looks pretty good, especially for white paint. So again, I'm really happy with how this turned out. Make sure to click the link in the description box below if you're looking into painting IKEA furniture too, and you want a finish that's going to last like this. You can see there's a tiny little bit of wear where the handles are, but I'm still pretty happy with this because I just used that bonding primer right on the middle of the handles and then a coat of paint. So to me, this has lasted really well. Now I'm going to put away our winter boots, and probably with my luck it's going to snow again after I do this, but I'm going to put away all the winter boots and accessories and just leave out our spring shoes and boots. Another question I get asked often is how many pairs of shoes can fit inside these stall shoe cabinets, and that really depends on the size of shoe and the style. I can fit 2 pairs of my husband's larger shoes or his short boots in each of the drawers, but then I could probably fit about 4 pairs of kids' shoes or 3 pairs of my own. You can also be clever with how you arrange the shoes in here. You can kind of stagger them to make more pairs fit inside. If there's any super dirty shoes, I don't like to put them inside the cabinet, so I just put them on my boot mat that's beside my cabinetry. Now I'm going to attack this disgusting floor, so I'm vacuuming up all the debris. I do have this closet here across from the shoe cabinet for any tall boots. People ask me a lot about that, so any kind of tall boots or larger boots that can't fit in the shoe cabinet, they go in the closet across. This little rock mat I created a couple years ago, and it just helps drain all the water off of the boots onto the mat and away from the soles of the boots. It's actually pretty easy to clean. I just move the rocks aside and just vacuum and wipe anything. If I was to do an even deeper clean of this, which it doesn't need right now, I would actually put the rocks into a strainer or a colander, rinse them off, and then spray the mat. So when it gets even muddier in the spring, I'll probably do that after our muddy season here at the acreage. So on this mat, I like to put all of our rubber boots and the dirtier shoes that I don't want to put inside the shoe cabinets or the ones that don't fit. Now I am going to mop this whole hallway. This feels so good. One of the reasons that I floated the shoe cabinets above the floor and didn't add the legs was so I could do exactly this. I could get the vacuum cleaner right underneath the mop, and it just makes the whole hallway a lot easier to clean. I still love the runner, though I think it's really showing some wear and tear. It wasn't a very expensive runner. I found it at Wayfair. I might replace it later, but for now, I think this is looking pretty good. I still like the pop of color it adds to the space. Now I'm putting back my little catch-all basket. Again, I found this at the dollar store. I think it was Dollarama. Adding a little tray for hair ties. And then I like to keep the decor on this piece very minimal because we do use it a lot for a drop zone. So just adding a couple faux plants, my DIY candle, and some books. By the door in this hallway, I found this beautiful faux greenery. I will link it in the description box below. I love how it looks for spring. And then I'm adding this DIY dollar store wreath to the front door. I just used some ferns and some faux greenery for this, and I love the simple spring look that this has too. So here's how my entryway looks, all clean and tidy. It feels so good to have this done. It's probably going to get messy again because of the spring that we're going to have with all of the mud, but for now I'm going to enjoy this. If you have any more questions about my DIY entryway makeover, let me know down in the comments. But I am so happy with how this has lasted over 3 years so far. I think it still looks brand new. It's easy to clean. It makes my entryway feel so much more open, and it offers my family lots of needed storage. Let me know all your tips and tricks on how I can get my kids to actually put their shoes in here every single time. I would like to know that hack. Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more DIY and decor ideas on a budget. I'm going to leave some more videos that I hope you will enjoy watching next up in that left-hand corner.